This video is a historical and analytical exploration based on verified facts and credible sources. Our intent is not to hurt any religious or cultural sentiments. All information is accurate to the best of our knowledge, backed by authentic books, research, and name sources provided in the video. How is the rise of Hindu nationalism tied to India's history of violence, destruction, and atrocities? In this video, we dive deep into every major event from medieval India to the present: massacres, persecution, partition, migrations, and attacks. Discover how this painful past fuels a sense of insecurity and unity. Is it a path to protection or a political game? We'll explore every angle, share gripping stories, and deliver firm conclusions. Welcome to a journey through time, one that uncovers the rise of Hindu nationalism, a force shaping India today. Is it a response to centuries of violence, destruction, and oppression, or a carefully crafted political strategy? Historian Will Durant once called the Muslim invasions of India perhaps the bloodiest story in history. From 712 AD to 2025, this tale is written in blood, tears, and a deep-seated sense of insecurity. In this video, we'll dissect every pivotal event, share untold stories, and ask questions that'll linger in your mind. So, buckle up for a ride from history's darkest chapters to the truth of today. Hit like, subscribe, and let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is Hindu nationalism? It's not just a religious movement, it's a political and cultural ideology that seeks to define India through a Hindu identity. In 1923, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar laid its foundation in his book, Hindutva. Who is a Hindu? For him, a Hindu isn't just someone who follows a religion. It's someone who sees India as both their fatherland and holy land. But this idea didn't emerge out of thin air. It's rooted in centuries of struggle for survival. In 1925, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, was born, founded by Keshav Baliram Hedgewar, with a vision to unite Hindus. Fast forward to 1980, the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, took this forward, and today, it's India's ruling party. They claim to foster unity and pride among Hindus. But here's the big question. Was this born out of a genuine need to protect Hindus, or has politics fanned its flames? To find out, we need to turn the pages of history, pages stained with blood. Let's travel back to 712 AD, Sindh, on India's western coast. Muhammad bin Qasim led the first major Islamic invasion into India. The Chashnama, a 13th century chronicle, paints a chilling picture. Temples razed, Sindhi armies massacred, and families enslaved and shipped to Iraq. Historian Andre Wink notes that smashing idols and demolishing temples was a direct assault on Hindu practices. The choice was stark: convert to Islam or pay the jizya tax. Will Durant called it history's bloodiest story. David Lorenzen argues that under Islamic rule, Hindus faced state-sponsored persecution. Medieval Muslim chroniclers, as Peter Jackson points out, saw this as a holy war. Hindus were kafirs, and their armies were soldiers of Islam. By the 11th and 12th centuries, invasions swept through Punjab, the Himalayan foothills, and the Ganga-Yamuna Doab. Andre Wink writes that India's holiest cultural sites were targeted. Broken idols were used to build mosques. But there's another side. Richard Davis notes that Hindu kings also took idols after victories, yet they placed them respectfully in new temples, unlike the desecration described in Muslim texts. Wink adds that temples weren't just religious sites, they were hubs of political resistance, making their destruction strategic. Under the Delhi Sultanate, Hindus were labeled dhimmi, protected yet discriminated against. Early sultans exempted Brahmins from jizya to avoid rebellion, but Firoz Shah Tughlaq enforced it rigorously. His autobiography boasts that countless Hindus converted under this pressure. Peter Jackson describes how sultans' armies raided Hindu kingdoms for loot, destroying temples and seizing cattle and slaves. Here's a story. Imagine a Hindu family in a Sindh village. After the invasion, the men were slaughtered, women and children enslaved, and their idols crushed to form mosque steps. This wasn't a one-off, it was the reality of that era. Couldn't this pain plant the seeds of Hindu nationalism? The shadow of invasions soon reached South India. In 1310, Alauddin Khilji's army attacked Madurai. Mehrdad Shokohi, an expert on Islamic history, writes that this year-long campaign saw Hindu temples demolished, cities looted, and locals brutalized. Poet Amir Khusro celebrated this destruction as Islam's triumph. By 1334, the Madurai Sultanate rose. Sultans like Ahsan Shah unleashed oppression on Hindus. Shokohi notes, chronicles boast of holy wars yielding immense wealth. But this sultanate didn't last long. Vijayanagar's army crushed it in 1377. Vijayanagar's founder Bukka Rai sought to revive Hindu culture. Crispin Branford explains how its kings rebuilt ruined temples and reconsecrated them. A story from Madurai. A priest gave his life to save a deity's idol. When Vijayanagar arrived, that idol found a new home in a temple. This wasn't just victory, it was the restoration of Hindu pride. Now, the Mughal era, a time of two faces for Hindus. First, Akbar, often hailed as tolerant. Richard M. Eaton writes that he abolished jizya, allied with Hindu kings, and embraced diversity in his court. Yet Akbar later regretted his early attempts to mold faiths, admitting it was a mistake. Then came Aurangzeb, 1658 to 1707, a name that still sparks debate. Known as a ruthless oppressor of Hindus, he reimposed jizya, a tax Akbar had scrapped a century earlier. He ordered temple demolitions. In 1669, he wrote to his governors, "Destroy the schools and temples of infidels with joy, end their worship completely." In Mathura, temples were razed, idols smashed, and the city briefly renamed Islamabad. Sikh texts recount a brutal tale. Guru Tegh Bahadur, with 16 Hindu Brahmins, protested Aurangzeb's atrocities. Refusing to convert, they faced horror. Matidas was sawed in half, Dayal Das boiled alive, Satidas burned, and in November 1675, Guru Tegh Bahadur was beheaded. This isn't just a story, it's evidence of that era's cruelty. Deepa Ollapalli calls Aurangzeb's policies unprecedented religious bigotry. Yet Romila Thapar offers a counter-view. Some Muslim rulers donated to Hindu sects. Eaton suggests Aurangzeb's temple destruction stats are debated. Some claim he built more than he broke. But the reality? Stories of Hindu humiliation were widespread. A tale from Benares. A temple was turned into a mosque, its priest expelled, and idols dumped into the Ganga. This pain sank deep into Hindu consciousness. Couldn't this insecurity fuel Hindu nationalism? Under British rule, Hindu nationalism took a new shape. The 1905 Bengal Partition was seen as a plot to divide Hindus and Muslims, sparking the Swadeshi movement and strengthening Hindu identity. But the real fire ignited in the 20th century. In 1921, the Mapla Rebellion erupted in Malabar. Muslim peasants turned on Hindus. Annie Besant claims 100,000 Hindus were killed or displaced. A Hindu family's home was torched, men butchered, and women forced to convert. Then 1946, Direct Action Day and Noakhali riots. A Namasudra woman recalled. Our village burned. My brother was slain. The 1947 partition saw 200,000 to 1 million deaths. Punjab and Bengal's Hindu villages were wiped out. A chilling story. 1947. Hindus and Sikhs were burned alive. A mother leapt into a well with her daughters to save their honor, but all perished. How could this trauma not spark Hindu nationalism? Independence didn't end the attacks. The 1985 Shah Bano case fueled fears of appeasement. Her Supreme Court maintenance win was overturned under Muslim pressure, leaving Hindus feeling sidelined. In 1990, the Kashmiri Pandit exodus, over 300 killed, 200,000 to 300,000 driven from the valley. A Pandit woman said, "My husband was shot in the street. We got a 24-hour notice to leave." Their population there dropped from 15% to 0.1%. In 2002, Godhra saw 59 Hindu pilgrims burned alive in a train, a court-ruled conspiracy. The Gujarat riots followed, claiming over 1,000 lives. In 2003, the Mard massacre killed 8 Hindus. In Bangladesh, the 1971 genocide took 2 to 3 million lives, mostly Hindus. Magazine wrote, Hindus bore the brunt of Muslim army hatred. Their population fell from 22% to 6.9%. In 2024, 2,200 violent incidents were reported. 17 temples smashed during Durga Puja 2021. In Pakistan, 95% of temples are gone. In 2012, a century-old Karachi temple was razed. A woman cried, "If we've no place here, let us go to India." Each year, 5,000 Hindus flee to India. Doesn't this deepen Hindu insecurity? The RSS and BJP harnessed this insecurity. 2024, Ram Temple construction united Hindus. Social media amplified it. A 2019 viral post read, "Remove police for 15 minutes, Hindus will be wiped out." This fear and anger power Hindu nationalism. But here's the catch. Are these groups doing what's needed? Is it just protection, or has it become a political tool? Hindu nationalism stirs debate. Critics say it targets minorities and erodes India's secular fabric. Supporters argue it's about protecting Hindus and righting historical wrongs. Will it unite India or divide it? That's for you to decide. The rise of Hindu nationalism is born from history's violence and pain, from the 712 AD Sindh invasion, Mughal oppression, Partition's tragedy, to today's attacks. It's rooted in deep insecurity among Hindus. The RSS and BJP gave it shape, but the question remains, is this the right path? It can strengthen India, but in the wrong hands, it risks division. What's your take? Drop it in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more hard-hitting insights.